are the Muses,
goddesses of the arts,
and proclaimers of heroes,
and pirates,
and villains,
and allies,
and eels,
and aliens,
and princesses,
and inventors.
Oh, yes. And there's a lot of these glimmers out here.
Honestly. Hi, and welcome to the Lorcana Muses podcast. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Brittany. And I'm Kimber.
Hello.
You don't see it, but you were just waved that with a tiny hand.
Oh, yes, the tiny hands return.
Really important. If you've seen any of our socials, you'll know that this last weekend during Set Champs, the store we were at may or may not have had very tiny hands for purchase.
Smart of them to put it right by the register because easiest purchase I've ever made.
Really?
For real, though. It was
That's just $4 I've ever spent.
so hilarious because they amused us all day during that championship and beyond, because then I played with them again in the Set Championship on Sunday, and then now we have them again with us for recording.
And we seem to be the only one that gets enjoyment from them because it creeps our husbands out to no end.
I mean,
Hilarious.
I think that adds to it.
Yeah, I know.
It does. It does hilarity because it's so funny that the tiny hands creep them out, even though it's just a little rubber hand that just fits on a finger. Like, there's no point in it being creepy. I don't see any creep factor in it. I just see hilarity, honestly.
Speaking of Set Champs, way to go, Kimber and Brittany. Yay! They both got top 8, so they ended up going home with a Scar card. Kimber's first time getting top 8 and getting one of the promos, and then Brittany finally made her run of having one promo card from each of the Set Champs, so we're very proud.
Yeah.
Very, very proud.
Like, I felt like Eminem with the sweaty palm of my mother's spaghetti.
Yeah, insane. So, I did not get a Scar card on Saturday when I was so confident that I would. But I just had really bad games and bad matchups. My deck was not doing what it was supposed to be doing. I think I ended up like 15th out of 18, which really sucked, especially with how much practice and how much I've put into this game the last few months to get better competitively. It was really disappointing, and so I kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it today, because I think disappointment is something that we all feel from time to time, especially in TCGs. And I was watching RMB's video that he put out about disappointment because he didn't get a Worlds invite when he was at Nationals. And it was just like, it was a really interesting take. And so I spent most of, like, even though I had fun Saturday, I let it get to me towards the evening and it really bumped me out. I didn't sleep well. I was stressed about going to Set Champs again on Sunday. And then I didn't even end up going to Set Champ on Sunday because the kids needed me and I'm a mom first before anything else. And so that's hard, like, to sometimes grasp, is you want to play this game, you want to do this hobby, you want to put the work in, but you know, you have life and other responsibilities, and as moms we don't really have as much time as some other people do to go to a Set Champ every weekend or every day of the weekend. So
I felt like I got into top 8 by like the skin of my teeth, because I know that I wish that I would have had more time to practice, but it's exactly what you're saying. Like, life exists. Like, I can't live in a Lorcana vacuum.
Yeah, so it really...
I wish I could sometimes.
It really, really sucked. I'm very disappointed. I cried most of Saturday, actually, and then I spent most of my time on the phone with Brittany yesterday evening just because I was like, I don't know what to do. Do I quit the game? Do I take a break and go play One Piece? Like, what do I do? Because if it's not... if I'm not seeing improvement and it doesn't show when it's supposed to matter, then what am I doing? And what am I doing any of it for? And she and Alex and a couple of our other like community people really helped me like see that I have so much other value in Lorcana besides competitive play. I work on our community a lot. that's just a lot less tangible of a thing to say, good job, like, here's your sticker, or here's your SCAR card for participation. Like, no. And the fact of the matter is that I have gotten better. I have seen these things. I have gotten better at League. It's just it was a crappy day on Saturday for me. It didn't help that the very first weekend full of set champs, I was gone with the flu. So I didn't even get to participate that. We only have one more weekend to do anything. And so I'm putting like way too much pressure on myself. And then even Alex kind of brought some more insights, and he's like, you built me my deck. You taught me how to play my deck. And because of you, he went and won top 8. Like, he made it. So that really helped too. It's like, okay, so it was just a bad day. Just a bad day. But it sucks. So I am trying to focus more, I think, on not putting so much value in, do I get a set promo card? Did I get a mat? Did I do this? Did I do that? And instead kind of focus more on those like side quests that I was talking about earlier, which is I met new people. I invited them to our Discord. I had fun with you guys. Like, we laughed so much on Saturday.
So much laughter.
I got to play a deck that I love. Like, I genuinely love to play. And I got to like spend my day with my friends playing a hobby and doing something that we all love to do together. And it was really cool to see you guys win it and take it. And Daryl almost went undefeated, which is like, what a cool thing for him to have done. He was actually very sweet. He called me too yesterday and told me, he's like, look at his run. Saturday, he almost went undefeated. And then Sunday, he only won one match. And that's it. So, it happens in this game.
It's true.
It so happens in this game. So,
like, I was having those similar thoughts because the weekend that you were, like, out.
Yeah.
You were just so sick. We went to Amazing Discoveries, and Brittany and I,
We were at the bottom.
like, we got paired at the very end, and we were like, appetizers.
Yeah, we left. But yeah, we got paired on the last round, and we were at the very bottom.
We were like, we willed this into existence. Do you know who doesn't hurt your feelings? Mozzarella sticks. That's who.
So fair.
But something that I was thinking of and wanted to mention also is that that is such a difficult. Now that I've experienced a little bit of both sides, more of the let's go get mozzarella sticks and different kinds of beverages side, but like, it's so hard when you're doing well to kind of like take a second and breathe and look around you, because there's so much, like, if you're doing well, more than likely, unless there's only 8 people at your set champ, there are people going to feel that genuine disappointment. And I know something that really hurt and frustrated me when I was playing on that first weekend was we were 3 out of 5 rounds in, and people were already like, oh, we're gonna
intentional draw it. Yeah.
We'll draw for the next 2 rounds. Let's go get some food. Like,
yeah.
And I was like, I'm here playing my heart out. I'm trying so hard. And I know that that is a part of this. I know that those conversations like happen. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but like, I think it takes 10 seconds of just that extra thought to be like, let's go talk about this somewhere else for the people who aren't like completely out of it are gonna be like hearing us talk about how we don't really need to play the next 2 games because like, oh, that was rough.
Yeah, it's definitely like a tunnel you need to put yourself in so you don't hear any of that talk.
I will say though, but when people do that, especially so early in the game, some of those people didn't end up in top 8.
That's true.
They did that early, and I mean, that's on them.
Yeah.
They decided to draw, and then they ended up not being able to be a top 8 because either their math was wrong, they didn't expect people to do as well, or what have you. But like, they could have played it out and had a better chance, but they decided to draw instead. And I just call that karma.
No, it's a numbers game for sure. So, I think I'm feeling better. Like, I am excited to go to League, especially because Alex now gets to come with me on Friday. So we're so looking forward to it. But man, those Sunday and Monday were really hard. My anxiety was really bad. I really felt like I was done with Lorcana, at least in any sort of competitive environment. And you guys know I'm more like, I enjoy building the theme decks. I enjoy building this community. So I was like, I'll just maybe focus on the podcast. I'll focus on like theme events, and that's it. But I don't want to do that. I did enjoy learning how to play this game better. And I have enjoyed playing more competitively and thinking more critically about deck building, especially because I'm not, and maybe right now it is that you have to play a meta deck, it feels like, to win. But that's not necessarily the case. So it's just like, I just wanted to noodle it. If anybody else is out there feeling this way, like, I see you, I hear you.
Yeah.
Like, reach out, because I'm always willing to talk. I always feel like an imposter with this game, that I'm just here and nobody really values my opinions. Nobody really values my feedback. And they're just here because, oh, you're Brittany's friend or you're Daryl's friend, and that's about it. But then getting to know this new player in our community, she and I have talked a lot, and she like went out of her way to tell me that she really admires me for what I've done for this community. And that was really nice to hear. And like, she's just... It was just really cool, because that's a lot of my hard work goes into building this community, and that's, again, is not very noticeable. So it's nice that somebody noticed and somebody took the time to say something.
Yeah.
So if Ravensburger is listening, maybe there's a promo card out there for your community builders. I don't know.
I support that. I like that.
So anyways, that's where I'm at. I'm feeling really bummed, but I'm just gonna go have fun this weekend. We're doing one more set champs on Saturday. I basically reached out to our friends and said, hey, I have fun when I play with you guys. So I don't really want to go to a set champ that's going to be sweaty, or that's going to, that I have to go by myself. Like, I want to go to one that, like, we are all together, because I want to have fun again. I want to play with little tiny hands and enjoy playing my deck. So I'm like, as long as we can get the 8 people to make it run, like, let's go try the store out. So I'm excited. Plus, it's a store that, for some reason, I only get enchanteds from there. So
Press pack. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's fair.
You have the prize packs.
So you mentioned this briefly when you were just talking about like having to play a meta deck, and I thoroughly disagree with having to play a meta deck and winning. Right, like that is like against my being. Right, I did switch decks because I was having struggles with my Amber Ruby deck, and I switched to a Ruby Amethyst deck. And yes, it still has like some core elements of those two color combinations, but like I did put my own spin on it again, right? Like I wouldn't call it a meta deck just based on like it's not.
No, I'm not saying that you have to. It feels like it right now. But you and I had a conversation even last night that the end of the set is usually when it gets a little bit more competitive, and it does feel like the meta has taken over.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
but you also have to look at like DLC, the latest DLC.
Yeah,
that deck that won was not the traditional
blue.
And so like that's another thing is like
well, and then we have to start looking at what do we constitute a meta deck, because technically I'm playing meta colors. I'm playing a Steel Song deck.
Right. I'm technically playing, Amethyst Ruby,
right,
one of the biggest meta decks, but like I'm not playing it with the meta cards.
And that's was something really cool that I enjoyed when I saw the Diggy Hole list, was because it took, when you see that Amber go down and then a Steel card go down, you're like, okay, I know what I'm dealing with. And it was just like, no.
Yeah.
Completely turned it on.
There's so many nuances now, I think. And I will say that even within the meta decks, the meta colors that you see, there have been so much variety. I have not like seen a deck that's copy pasted from another deck. I mean, Daryl and Nate were like closest I've seen to almost like the same deck, and even then they had different nuances to their decks, and they were both playing Sapphire Steel on Saturday. Those were the top 2, so that's what I was seeing. It was kind of funny to see duck manor
dog house duck.
Yeah, no, it was definitely interesting to see. And I will say, like, I was happy to get top 8, and I got top 8 on Saturday.
Yeah.
That I played this weekend, so I'm very proud of myself. But I was also so frustrated because I played so well throughout the day on both Saturday and Sunday until I got into top 8. And in my first match, both rounds, I bricked. And that's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because like I had, and on Sunday, the person that I played in the first round was the person that I had 2-0'd in the last round of Swiss.
It's so frustrating.
So I was just like, I wasn't being cocky going into it or anything.
Yeah.
Because I
reason to feel confident about
I did matches because even though like the second game was a little more tougher than the first game, it was definitely one of those things where I was like, oh, I know what she's playing, and she does know what I'm playing, and yeah, I definitely tell that she had more of a strategy going in. But my deck also just did not do what it should have done in that matchup.
It was
it's frustrating, and
I'm not trying to discount her.
No.
Totally earned it.
That's just like shows you your deck can break out hard. You can have the best of decks and just like fail
on Saturday, and he witnessed the rise and fall, mostly just the fall of what happens when you get nothing on Ruby Sapphire. I was just like, I'm gonna ink one card.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can do. I can't ramp. I don't have card draw.
Yeah.
Sit here and cry.
No, it happens.
Right over there.
And also, they're long days. So the mental fatigue, once you do get to top 8, I mean, you are tired. You are tired, I'm sure, of looking at these darn cards. You're just tired.
That Taco Bell burrito, though, that I had.
Yeah, shout out to Dowd to get us all Taco Bell on like round 4.
I wish I had ordered that because I do think that made an impact on my...
You're hungry.
I was hungry, and I just didn't think I was going to eat it. I also just can't really eat anything at Taco Bell.
That's fair.
Like, so I didn't order anything. And I just didn't realize I didn't bring enough snacks for the day. And I'm normally pretty good about having snacks with me, that I can eat that are like protein rich. I just did not have enough.
Things happen.
And they melted in the car. That was the problem. Like,
and then you couldn't find one. We found one later.
And I couldn't find one because I normally always have a granola bar at least. Could not find it, and it was in this different pocket than I expected. Yeah, it was just frustrating. But yeah, on Sunday I made sure that I brought extra snacks.
So this weekend we will bring all the snacks and all the silliness and all the tiny hands and all of the fun. I did make more changes to my deck, which I think sharpen it a little bit. With some playtesting that I've done so far. So we will see. Maybe it just wasn't my time, and I was joking a little bit. Like, right, this just makes the comeback even greater. So I'm like trying to really rally myself into being okay. But I do think it's important to acknowledge that disappointment is a very real thing of this game.
Yeah.
And it's okay to like get super in your feels about it. But I will always show up, and I will always support you guys. I will always be super happy for you guys.
That was one thing. Like, I was trying to do my best, but like as a friend, I was wanting you to get top 8 so bad that like I almost felt like I didn't like let myself feel as happy because I was like, no, like it's not bad, I promise. Her face got real loud, y'all.
Subtitles.
But then when you came around the corner, because like I was talking with Dow, because my husband also like that disappointment of not doing as well as he had hoped. And then you came around the corner and you were just so excited for me. Like I actually like teared up because I was just like my dear sweet friend who is trying and working so hard at this and has been practicing her heart out and been trying all of these different things and has just like built this deck from the ground up, is like putting aside the disappointment that surely she's feeling right now to be happy for me. And like,
no, I that is one thing Alex credited me for, is he's like, I don't think you get enough credit, speaking of me, like I am always boasting everybody up. I'm there to play test. I'm there to help with deck lists. Like Brittany was sending me her deck list. Alex was sending me his deck list. Like I'm always there for you guys. And that's not because I I want it in return. I mean, it's nice. You guys do bring it to me in return. But that's just who I am as a person. I want, your successes are my successes because you're my friend.
Yeah.
And so I would think it was awesome. You've never made a top 8 before, and you did it. Maybe by the skin of your teeth, but you did it. I've seen you get better as a competitive player, and then seen Brittany struggle the last weekend, and then struggle since LCQ with her identity as a player, and then being able to top 8 twice this weekend. I'm like, yes, queen.
Yeah.
Finally, we're seeing it.
I was so excited too because I was really nervous because I made this deck this week.
Yeah.
And I
You played it for the first time Friday?
First time Friday and made a few changes again on Saturday with no testing. And then played it again on Sunday after making a 4-card swing for Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I have some changes that I want to try out this week before coming into this next weekend because I think the deck can get even better.
Yeah.
But it's also it wasn't the deck I had been working on all set. Right?
Right. It's not Ruby Amber.
It's not a Ruby Amber deck that I had worked forever on. But it's just not working right now.
I have seen iterations of your Ruby Amber on deck or online.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome to see that people are playing your deck. They're making tweaks to your deck. It just sucks that because in our local meta, it's just not working.
It's just not working in our local, and that's fine.
Yeah. It's there to come back to. You never know. I mean, we still don't know very many, if we know 4 cards of this new set that comes out in a month.
Right.
We won't get into that.
It's February 10th, according to Ravensburgers.
We'll start maybe getting some. So I know there's going to be stuff that's going to help our decks out. And I'm very excited because at the start of the deck is when you really start to see more of the limited format, which is oh my gosh, I love sealed and drafts so much. I wish it was more throughout the sets, but I am happy that they're so top heavy in the beginning. Oh, it's so fun.
So fun.
Because then you do have all the people you love to play with, but they're all on the same playing field. Unless we keep mentioning them every podcast, but unless you're Dave and you pull 2 Maui Sharks in your draft event.
I mean, and then Brittany's going to pull an Enchanted.
No, that's just our pack rushes.
I don't do it in the actual. No, when we play sealed, I always get garbage.
That's
when we play sealed events.
Yeah.
So I'm but yes, when I play pack rush, not just regular pack rush.
Pack rush for keeps.
Pack rush for keeps
is trademarked.
Or trademark, right?
Brittany.
No, I think Dave actually said that first, but Dave and I have played pack rush for keeps many, many times.
Yeah,
because we're so funny.
Respectfully, though, if Dave wanted it trademarked, he should have said it first.
Yeah,
podcast.
He didn't, so now we're trademarking it. Boom.
Damn.
No, so I'm very excited. I cannot wait for more card reveals to come out, hopefully soon.
Uh-huh.
What do we think about the Valentine's Day event with the pack rush?
Oh, that's going to be really, really fun.
I'm excited.
Oh,
I wish that I could play in one. Because I know.
Yeah.
It's from 9th to the 15th or something like that.
But it's just come in and get 2 free packs. It's not like an event.
I know, but I can't that whole.
Oh, that's true. You're gone. I'll be out. Yeah.
And so I was that span of time, I'll be out of town, and it's my sister's birthday and all of that.
Yeah.
The busiest time. So I love pack rush. Is it is my favorite limited format. And that I'm going to be able to play in it. But I do play it I actually just buy packs and do it all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So
we just do it.
Rush.
That's how I open our packs in the beginning of the set.
Yeah, Daryl neck rush card.
That's way more fun.
Yeah, you should do it
all the time.
No, yeah, for the first little bit, or if we get tired of those. Well, we usually buy 5 boxes because we're sick people.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll do it for I think we do it the first 1 or 2, and then we'll just get through the cards, and then we'll just do it sporadically. But yeah, Alex and I have done that too.
You do 1 or 2 packs per pack rush? Or
it's 2 packs per pack.
And I was I don't know anything. I don't get tickets to go fun places.
No, it's so you both get 2 packs. You open them. The idea is to not look at your cards and shuffle them together, but people will do an enchanted check if they're bold. If they're even more bold, they won't do an enchanted check at all.
Just riffle shuffle.
Yeah. Then you use the 2 art cards to use as your first 2 ink. So you start with 2 ink. You draw 5 cards, and then it's the first to 15 wins.
I love that.
It's a lot of fun.
It's so much fun.
It's a lot of fun.
I love that. To go to there.
Draft is definitely still my favorite personally, but I love Pack Rush too, and then probably Sealed as the last.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I think Arcasia's Island is going to be a really fun set to play with. I'm looking forward to seeing what all entails with the dual ink colors. I really hope it's limited. I don't want it to be like any decks with one of those colors. I want them to be specifically for Ruby Sapphire decks.
I would be shocked if it wasn't that.
I would be too, but I don't know.
I mean, I've been shocked before.
Speaking of
shocked or Ravensburger?
Duel.
Oh, yes.
So our next Lorcana Muses event is going to be a dual, DUAL, tournament.
TUEL.
Both.
A play on words.
It's a play on words tournament. We're gonna do a 2v2 sealed event. So each you and your partner and you are going to get 12 packs, and then you're going to make 2 decks out of those 12 packs between the 2 of you, and then you're going to play multiplayer.
Yes,
against another set of 2, and both players on your side of the table, both team members must get to 20 lore. And then whoever wins that Swiss round moves on. Or it's Swiss. So,
yeah,
then we'll move on. But eventually, when we get to the top, it will be on the Ides of March.
Yes.
So we'll change from a DUAL.
Yes. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And you can decide.
So the top 4 is going to be 2 teams, right? So you have team 1, team 2 battling for first and second place and third and fourth place.
Yeah.
Once whoever wins that multiplayer pod is your first and second place, and then whoever lost is going to be your third and fourth place. Now you have to turn on your partner and now battle your partner to figure out who is first, second, third, and fourth.
Yep. And single player. So you're together till the end. And
that is
to have each other in the back like Caesar.
I'm very excited. I think that's a super cool way to finish the tournament and then to make the deciding factor. We have Enchanteds again up for the top 4 pricing. We have raffles. The raffles are going to include a Winnie the Pooh Honey Wizard mat, Japanese, the first chapter cards.
It's going to include a Stitch gift set.
This tournament.
We got raffles. We got you.
Lots of packs.
Lots of pricing. So just stay tuned for more details. We're finalizing everything. The sealed format is strictly Arcasia's Island to celebrate the new set that's going to be out. So we're very excited to have you guys and see you guys there. You can sign up eventually on North Valley Games website, and we'll post it on all our social medias once it's available to sign up.
Yeah, so we're going to do that in the middle of March 15th, and we're super excited.
Yeah, so
we should all just totally stab Caesar.
Mean Girls reference.
Forever.
And then speaking of tournaments that are coming to our valley, we are not hosting this one, but we're very excited to promote it. There's going to be a
youth
championship this next couple of weeks with first and second place getting the first place gets a Mirabelle mat.
The champion.
Yes, and then the second place gets the Mirabelle's promo card.
Yeah.
There's going to be 2 divisions. So a youth, younger kids, and then a senior league. And that's with Purple Shadow Gaming is hosting that along with North Valley Games. So super excited for them to be doing that and bringing more kids into We're super excited that they are working to bring more kids into the tournament scene and to play Lorcana. Rolling off of that, we'll eventually have our Pokemon / learn how to play Pokemon and Lorcana kids camp for 2 weeks, and those will both end with tournaments for both games at the end of those camps. So we'll have more details then. It's only February, so we're still ironing out some of those details. But altogether, very exciting things to come in the world of Lorcana / Pokemon. We threw Pokemon in there because all kids love to learn how to play Pokemon.
Honestly.
We did have a couple of listener questions come in. Last week was so much fun to do an entire episode strictly with Q&A with listeners. It was so cool to see the community get excited that we mentioned their question on the podcast. We do that every week, so if you guys ever have questions, if you missed it this week, we'll get it next week. So just keep sending them in. We love to see them. It really gets us thinking, I think. But starting off with Citizens of Lorcana, if you could make any changes to organized play for the next year, what would it be?
What a timely question.
I feel it's the most question.
Yeah.
Do we talk about the elephant in the room, guys?
I feel like the elephant is so large, we don't necessarily need to fully call it out.
That's fair.
I don't know if I'd call it an elephant, but I might call it a shark or a
It was so judge program.
Yes. So funny because we're referencing the Australia Lorcana event, and if you have not been steeped in Lorcana drama, and it's so the first thing I said, because there was that issue with rules and calls and all of that, I looked at my husband and I said, we just talked about judge programs on the podcast.
Yeah.
And I thought back to when we talked about Duel Links, like, they would never do it. And I was like, oh, that aged like milk. And then with the judge program thing, I'm like, at that age, like really fancy grapes.
Yeah, I think everybody in the community is really looking for a judge program. I hope it's coming. I mean, they have announced that they're doing away with Melee soon and having their own system for that. So I do think like they're making their way towards a better organized tournament play. And they did announce today that they are looking into the situation, and obviously for confidentiality reasons, they're not going to tell us one way or another, which is fine. I don't need them to tell us one way or another. I'm just glad that they're addressing the situation. Yeah,
honestly, we've said before, and you've mentioned this many times. Yeah, it's like
communication
is something that is so needed, desperately needed.
Yes,
and
otherwise you're allowing everybody to run rampant with rumors, and that's what happened.
It is what happened, and I just feel like even the response today, like it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So like that is another one of my things about organized play is I just want more communication.
Yeah.
Within the time, within a timely manner.
Yeah.
And even just saying more information to come is
better than
nothing.
What they did today was perfect. I don't need to know the gritty details. Yeah. I just need to know they're on top of it.
It's true, because I think that so many people have worked so hard to create this like beautiful, wonderful community.
Yeah.
And the idea of it being less than that is concerning.
We don't want this game to die. We don't want like more distrust to happen in our community where we're witch hunting for cheaters. Like, I just don't want that to happen.
5 copies of cards in his deck. Golly.
Sweet tease. It only happened once, and he immediately like called himself out and was like, I take the game loss.
It was so funny.
No, I think I'm hoping this just continues to snowball with communication. We still don't know anything about Worlds or the next season of DLCs, which is concerning. Because we're now in February, right? Okay, we were in the first month of the new year. Like, I understand. We are now in February. We are a month into 2025.
I need some good news.
We need something for planning purposes. A lot of people who are invited to Worlds, and even just people hoping to go as attendees, are holding off of. It's expensive to travel to Florida and go. Like, even if you don't decide to go to Disney World, which why would you go all the way there and not decide to go to Disney World? But maybe that's us in Phoenix thinking, like, if I'm going to go all the way to the East Coast, I'm going to go to Disney World. So I think we're all in unison that we want, one, a judge program, and two, more continued communication.
Yeah. Yes. I would also love to advocate for Phoenix as a DLC location.
Oh, well, yes, that goes without saying.
But that is more of like a want than I feel like a need.
Yeah.
We would love it. We have a very large Lorcana community here. We have
very
lots of convention spaces.
Yeah.
Where the best tacos are.
Yeah.
Yes. We do know some good tacos.
Yeah.
What we do.
Honestly. If nothing else, that should cinch it.
Just the tacos.
Yeah, just the tacos.
Just got good food.
Yeah. So, our next question comes 2 questions from Brian. He asks, what card would you like to see changed because of either how underpowered or overpowered it is?
It was funny because when we were talking about it before, my first thing I said was Buffy, and Stephanie, it was on just like, stay away from my squirrel. And I was like, no, I think they killed him. He's so underpowered now. Like, there needs to be a balance.
Yeah, I don't see it. They're not going to re-errata him, so I think he is... They might make more cards where he works a little bit better in decks, but I don't think they'll change his card, which is sad, because...
If you're...
Sweet Prince.
Yeah.
I have Maui Shark on the brain. Speaking of everything. No, but even before this incident.
For sure.
No, you were shocked about that card when it was revealed.
It's inkable. It's a 7/5. It's evasive. Like, it is so hard to deal with.
It really is. It has to be Zeused.
It has to be. And if you don't play steel, what do you do with it?
You
Tremaine it.
You put a reg on Maui at the RLS Legacy.
But that's so much work.
It's convoluted.
It is. It's a bunch of steps you have to do, or you have to play a fish hook and make a character erase it and things like that. So, like, you have to make a full plan just for one character, which is often what we have to do with, like, Brawl and things like that. Like, you have to, like, you have that in your deck.
Yeah.
Like, it was specifically in my Ruby decks for a green bird, right? It was in there for Diablo. It worked on lots of other cards, too, which was helpful.
And it had a primary
But it had a primary target. Now, the Emerald decks haven't been as prevalent as of late.
Yeah.
Because Ruby removal was hurting that deck. But
heck, even my Steel Sun decks are, like, punching Emerald Steel in the face.
Yeah, so I think people overcorrected for that deck, for sure. I would say, so I'm going to advocate for my husband here. He thoroughly was disappointed by the Steel Legendary from this latest set.
Ham Hands.
Mr. Ham Hands, because he was uninkable. And all the other stats of his made him, like, it didn't make him good enough to be uninkable.
Yeah.
And so he was thoroughly disappointed in that. And I don't disagree with him.
No, I don't either.
On his stats. And I'm advocating for a steel card. So. Everybody be shocked.
She really loves her husband, ladies and gentlemen.
I do love him. And I think that he's right about that card.
I agree. Yeah.
That sometimes the reasoning behind cards being inkable versus non-inkable is...
It feels like they throw a dart at the wall.
It does. And in some cards it makes sense. But, like, pretty much all of the Amethyst bounce cards are inkable. And that's wild.
And then you have all of the, like, Ruby removal cards that are banished are uninkable.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
you're just like, well, why?
Yeah.
Like, and so it's one of those things where, like, for me... I feel like, because I am a Ruby advocate, obviously, I do feel like because those things are uninkable, it does make it, I have to make very difficult choices about which ones are in my deck. And so, like, I do think that they're balanced, but other colors, I don't necessarily feel like they do the same thing. But I agree with you with Maui Shark. Like, I was shocked that it was inkable. I am shocked that he's inkable.
Yeah.
Like, that was my biggest takeaway when the card got revealed.
Yeah.
How is this inkable and other cards not?
Yeah.
Or have similar effects?
Because so many there's so many like almost checks and balances within each color. And like, I know Stephanie was like, can we just choose an entire color that's overpowered? Because
look, Ruby has hurt my feelings a lot this weekend.
And then Brittany mentioned, she was like, well, most of those like,
yeah, they are unequal. Yeah.
And that's where Maui Shark is like,
but it's not.
It's not.
Yeah. No, I do recognize, like, I don't personally love playing against Ruby, and that's fine. I have played Ruby decks. I'm not against Ruby as an entirety, like Brittany is with Steel, but like, because there are theme decks that I have enjoyed that play with a lot of really great Ruby synergy. I love the Lore Gain, Lore Steel synergy is so much fun.
Oh my god.
I hope I never see a lady in the chair again. If they make another lady in the chair, I'm gonna riot.
Yeah, we need a Cruella de Vil.
No. But yeah, no, I think it just seems like there's no rhyme or reason to their uninkable/inkable plotting, and that's sometimes disappointing.
Like, I was just looking up some of the other cards that I have in my brain is like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And Baby Hercules of this set,
yep,
like, he's cost 6. So when I think of things that cost 6, I think about Maui Shark, I think about cheerleaders, I think about one more to be prep. So sorry, I know what I am. Tinkerbell,
Sonic Warrior.
Honestly, there are so many great cards, and then I think about Uninkable 6 drops.
Yeah,
and then the expectation rises even farther.
Yeah,
and then him being a 6/3, yes, he has ward, but his ability being to pay 3 to deal A damage.
Yeah,
like, I'm just gonna run.
Not just deal A damage. Deal A damage to a chosen damaged character.
So he doesn't get around ward.
He doesn't get around ward. And it has to already be damaged.
Yeah, no, it's rough. Poor baby Hercules.
No, he's so cute. So cute. But like, I'll just play Mosquito Bite because it's inkable. And then that's placing a damage counter, so it gets around resist.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I perish for baby Hercules.
Yeah, no, there's been some legendaries that I'm just like, why is this a legendary card? This doesn't do anything.
Like Gantu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's some Gantu sympathists out there.
Okay.
The ones you can...
Well, if they start doing more with the alien archetype, then I can see that Gantu working more.
Yes, and I mean, and they already started with like the Galactic Council.
Yeah.
Like, they're starting to have that with other characters, and I'm sure that there's going to be more aliens.
Yeah, whereas Baby Hercules, I'd never see that card being playable.
Like, no, what do you... I don't know how to... I hate saying fix it, but really...
I mean, I understand that some characters come in damaged, right? Like, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I play a lot of those characters. But I still think that for the cost of that, like...
And the extra cost. So it's 9 costs to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, you already... And it's not a shift chart.
No.
There's things like that, where it's just like, oh, if it was shift, it would be better. Oh, if it was this, it would be better.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, but Brian's next question, he says, I thought of another. What is your favorite combo synergistically? I love Mulan, reflecting. Yeah. She's a great combination that I didn't even know she existed because she's set 1 and I haven't seen her since I opened a set 1 pack. But being able to quest, look at the top card of your deck, and 18 cards are some form of song card, and being able to play that for free is so nice. So I'm still getting her quest ability, so I'm still getting 2 lore off of her, and I'm able to do removal. Like, the one thing I did do fun on Saturday was I quested with her, and then I top decked Along Came Zeus. So nice. So nice. So I love that card. Playing her on Friday, I had a couple of people like, what card is that? Like, that's always my favorite thing, is when people are like, hold up, wait a minute. You ain't got no oomph in it.
That's what happens with Maurice's workshop for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's my favorite combo that goes for my deck because so many times I've put it out kind of as like a 401k for myself. Like, this is my retirement plan. No, it's my plan.
Yeah.
Because I run 14 items, and that's honestly less than it has been. But if I can get a popsicle, then I can pay just one more extra, just 2, with my huge tracks of ink.
Yeah.
And then I can draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
The chances of one of those being an item is not bad.
Yeah.
And so it kind of is just like that I'm getting a benefit of something that's already there, kind of like you were saying. And I get to like,
I love it.
We love. Also, I love when Tala can sing How Far I'll Go because it just feels right.
Oh, of course.
Like, and that one's just like, that's the vibes, but
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been playing with most of the set, but I really like Raya and Gaston together. So the Raya, the double ink Raya base, or not double ink, just the when you ink a card, ready another character.
Yeah.
Raya. And then I play the discount discount Gaston, and I can get out 2 characters for cost, right?
Yeah.
Or I can use Gaston's ability twice and get out a Sisu, like a big Sisu for 4 ink, right? Like, so it's things like that where I can double use it and still not play a character, and so now I have a discount of 4 versus 2. And so that's my favorite combo right now.
It's a scary combo.
And I can't always get it off, but it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
To get off. And so I really like that. Now I've seen some really good combinations. Like I love your sensor core.
Yeah,
I don't enjoy playing against it, but I love your sensor core because like it just feels so good, right?
Oh, it feels so good because if it's not a princess, then Mulan is questing, and it's a song.
Yeah.
I love it. That entire deck synergistically is beautiful.
Like the first time I played,
and when it doesn't work, you'll see me like verbally abusing my deck.
I did see you do that on Saturday, and it was funny. It was not funny, but it was funny that
it helps like alleviate some of that tension. It makes me feel funny when I'm like, "What are you doing? Just stop doing that."
Whenever Tifo shows up late, I'm just like, petulant child. Should have been here sooner. I hated you.
But at least he's inkable.
Yes.
That's true. And that's what I say as I ink him. I'm like, Invicted Quill, as you should be.
Art in a Can asks, do people play with enchanted cards or is it just a flex? So I do. I used to be really against playing with an enchanted card, and then as I started kind of getting the enchanteds that I want and that I would play with, I'm not a collector. Like, I do have a collection of Lorcana cards, but I'm not here to like one day sell it because it's going to be worth 20 grand or whatever. Like, to me, these cards are fun to have. I love the artwork. I want to see them in my decks. I want to see them get played. So the only enchanted card I wouldn't play with would be the $1,000 Elsa card because that's insane. Or a Golden Mickey I wouldn't play with.
Or like Invited to the Ball.
Like anything above, I think like $1,000 or even $500 I wouldn't necessarily play with. If I play with my enchanted Tinkerbell Giant Fairy, I would play with Surfer Stitch. I just don't have a deck for him right now. It just makes me happy, and I stopped caring like if people are, they think it's cringe that I'm playing with enchanteds.
Oh,
if it's gonna make me happy because I'm playing with shiny cards, then great.
Yeah, if the joy isn't getting to see it, use it.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to do it as a flex. Like, I'm not trying to show off to my opponent. I literally just love the art, and I want to see the art. Yeah,
pretty shiny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like me playing my promo Rapunzels, right? Like, I want to play with them because I like the art and I like how they look.
Absolutely.
When I play somebody, because I don't play with enchanteds, just because I don't have enchanteds for the cards
that you want.
Yeah. But when I see someone else, I'm like, oh, he's so pretty.
Yeah.
And when they have to get, I'm like, no, it's so beautiful.
I used to feel so weird because I have a top loader binder with all my enchanteds and nice promos.
Oh.
And I was like, don't want to feel like I'm showing off to anybody.
Yeah.
But then I brought it last Friday and I showed like 3 people who were newer to the game. I'm like, look at all the cool cards that are available that you can trade for, you can find in packs, you can do whatever. And they weren't like, oh, like you're weird for showing me and flexing on me. They were genuinely like, oh my God, these are beautiful cards. I want to see more. I'm like, okay, that's so awesome. So I think most of the community is that way. They just want to see you have fun and play. They're not going to ever feel like, oh, you're flexing on me and you're trying to intimidate me.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I feel that way too. And I do see it more on like gamers that are like streaming and things like that.
Yeah.
And I do think some of them are just trying to flex, but
Sure.
it is. I also feel like it's kind of an intimidation tactic.
Honestly.
Like, just to be fair, like
I'm never trying to intimidate you. If you're playing with me and you see Enchanted Tiana, mind your business.
yeah, I don't think most people are doing it. I do.
Some people do.
Right.
Just like some people don't like to play with anything. They like to play with the face cards. We know people that will give away even their hollows because they just don't care.
Yeah.
And that's
fine. Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I just want the card to do the thing. But then I'm kind of like, is that like a hollow? And I'm just like, is this the beginning of a slippery slope?
It is. I was there, Brittany Kimber, I was there. It's a slippery slope, and now I have a top loader binder, so...
I mean, I did get a deck box to showcase the enchanteds I do have.
That's fun.
So...
Yeah, and I just bought a dual case. I think it's for Magic, but I bought it for Lorcana that shows the enchanteds on the sides.
Yeah.
Because it's just fun. Like, you pull those, or you traded for them, or even if you bought them. Like, that is such a cool thing to show off.
They're so cool. Like...
So they're made for us to enjoy them.
True. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I like have at the front of my deck box, I have the Disney 100 Stitch. Like,
Yeah.
I don't play with that card, but I love him and I love the art on that card. And like I have the promo Mickey VLTs and things like that, but I don't play with those cards. I just have them because I want them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and Daryl and I have a PSA 10 graded Elsa, but obviously, well, she's in a slab, so we're not going to play with her, but we weren't going to play with her either way.
But that's fair.
But other than that, like, and then the invited to the ball, like, we play with most of our enchanteds, right?
Yeah.
Like, we do have some in the case, but it's also just like, they're not cards that we play. Like, we have, like, we have Belle Strange but Special, and neither one of us plays that card. And we have the library. Like, we have Belle's House.
Oh, Belle's House. Okay.
I was going to say the library.
So I know the library had an enchanted card.
No, I don't know. Belle's House. I was thinking, Belle.
Yeah, but they go together. So show them off on your house.
Yeah, so they're next to each other in our case.
That's
right?
cool.
And so,
I love the Ballroom Sensation Cinderella that you guys have.
Yeah, she's pretty
beautiful.
Yeah, and we buy the extended art cases. So like there's like an artist that does extended art for cards, and we buy the cases to put them in. Like, and we display it like art. So like that's what we have in our house.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I like enjoy having it. Yes, I do want the Enchanted RLS Legacy. That's on my list just because I play that card.
Yeah,
and I would play with that one. And I don't have a deck right now that has Super Goof in it. Or I did have a deck with Super Goof in it. I had to stop playing with him in my deck as the enchanted version of it.
Because
it's starting to bend.
A lot of the enchanteds are starting to bend more and more.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't necessarily know. And hey, maybe if you're listening and you do know how to deal with that problem.
Yeah.
Like, or maybe or why that's happening. I'm not like leaving my cards in the car or anything, and it's just the enchanted that's doing it. And so I'm not quite sure what to do with that.
Yeah. Huh.
But I was able to pick it out of my deck. So I took it out.
Like, what's the problem?
I was like, I took it out because I don't want to be accused of
marked cards,
right? So yeah, that's where I was at with it. But yeah, I'm excited for this upcoming weekend with Such Chance because I have some ideas for my deck that I want to try out because now, it'll be only the second week I've played with my deck, which is kind of wild to me and also frustrating at the same time, because I'm like, I played with my deck and I've been making tweaks and changes to it all set and been playing wonderfully with it. And then as soon as it mattered for like local play, it stopped working, which is like, why? Because I don't think a lot of people changed what they were doing.
No, yeah.
They really hadn't. Like
there weren't a lot of new decks.
The decks did not change that much, but my deck was just not doing what it needed to do anymore. And I did not make significant changes.
I do think you were kind of saying how maybe you're just a little burnt out.
Yeah, no.
I do think
I was like underthinking play lines because I just played
it's just so
and I think I needed to refresh from
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why I like playing with, like, I'll build jank decks, but it's 100%. I'm thinking about the cards in new ways. Helps me think, oh, why didn't I think about that combination? And I was actually playing with, when I was going through my crisis this weekend, with a Steel Fossa deck. And I really liked it. And they only have 2 songs, 8 cards in that deck. And I was like, this doesn't feel good. Where are my songs? But it gave me an idea for like other decks I want to try. So, I think taking a break from your go-to decks is always nice. And whether you build a theme deck, whether you build a new competitive deck, it's nice to take a step back.
And I think it also helps you improve as a player, because when you learn the play lines of other decks, you're also learning what to anticipate from opponents who are playing those colors.
Oh, I'm constantly looking at your inkwell, and I'm like, 7. Oh, be prepared's coming out. 7.
Like,
7.
Like that, when you find like spending more time in those other colors too, you can be like, oh, this is how I would take my deck apart.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
No, I also was like feeling that because I hadn't played against my deck in a while, and somebody brought a deck similar to mine to League the other week, and I was like, oh, I see how to remove this. And I think that's how other people have been removing it from my decks.
Yeah.
It made me think about like how to secure my cards a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this has been a very fun episode. We've talked a lot about heavy things. We try to keep it pretty light for the most part, but we do like to talk about like actual problems that we're seeing and experiencing ourselves in Lorcana, because it is what it is. But there's a lot of exciting things happening for us as a podcast and in our community. Hopefully we get some really fun card reveals in the next week, so that we can start talking about card reveals on our podcast, because I love when we're able to do that.
Story time.
I'm excited for all the content creators that are going to get card reveals. Fun times all around. So we're heading into Arcadia's Island. Hopefully we see lots of cute little pets. Keep up with us on social media. We continue to share silly things that we're doing, fun things that we're doing.
Tiny hand
content, my vlog content, which I will update. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I kind of left you guys high and dry, but I needed a moment. But you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky at the Lorcana Muses, on X at the Lorcana Muses Pod, and on TikTok also at the Lorcana Muses Podcast. Or email us at lorcanamuses@gmail.com. Happy questing!
Happy questing!
Happy questing!